Hello and welcome to episode 47 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. Of course, I am your host, Rick Doherty. With the holiday coming up this week, we have a loaded episode for you. Some of my favorite contributors to the show will be joining me. The clock is winding down on 2021, which is the year we had two brand new nighttime spectaculars at Walt Disney World. Our good friend Marissa from Chicago will be here to discuss both of those shows. We'll also be joined by Kiki from the vlog That's So Kiki. She's going to have some pretty big news that is Disney related, and she'll talk about her upcoming vlog schedule. Last week, I got to experience Night of a Million Lights at Give Kids the World Village, and I'll have a quick review of that while our good friend Sarah from Seattle will share information on Epcot's International Festival of the Arts. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe over at the YouTube channel. Not only does that site host the podcast, but I'm putting up more and more videos from the theme parks and other travel-related videos. You can also reach me by email at rick@eartotheretravel.com and on social media at facebook.com/eartothereRick, twitter.com/Rick_ear, Instagram.com/RickEar2there, and Twitter.com/TGTTpodcast. Go to these sites for plenty of live streams, videos, blogs, pictures, and even giveaways on the horizon. We're going to really grow this thing in the upcoming year, and I think we have a lot of positivity for you on the internet, which tends to focus a lot on the negative. Right now, let's get things started by welcoming Kiki from the YouTube channel That's So Kiki. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for letting me be here.
So we're going to talk about something really big in just a few minutes, but first we're going to start your YouTube channel, That's So Kiki. You have a new vlog out right now where you're talking about the Christmas tree stroll at Disney Springs. So why don't we talk about this a little bit? First of all, after you're done listening to this, everybody go and watch that vlog. But Disney Springs for the holidays, how great is it?
Oh, it's amazing. It's so pretty. I am not allowed in the parks right now, so going to Disney Springs is as close to Disney Magic as I'm getting, and it feels like Disney Magic. So it's great.
So what were some of your favorite trees on the stroll?
I loved the Black Panther tree. That one was really cool.
The Black Panther tree is new this year. I actually have done the stroll as well, and I was shocked at how detailed that was. It was really cool. There was almost like a miniature Wakanda, ironically enough, actually, not even that miniature, on the side of the tree. So much detail. It was one of my favorite as well.
Yeah, and it felt like a great representation of the movie. Like they embodied the movie in the tree.
Absolutely. I also think it was cool that they did Raya and the Last Dragon. I'm worried that because that didn't have a theater release, that it's going to get lost in the shuffle somewhere, because I really think Raya is a character that should be all over the place at Disney, and they were able to get a pretty good representation on the tree there as well.
I'm really hoping that they bring Raya into the parks because I love her so much. But I think that might be a future thing for Disney.
So if somebody had listened to your previous appearance on the podcast and now you're coming back, you actually had the chance to move to Florida because you're going to college in the area. But I gather you haven't gotten an annual pass yet. Is that correct?
No, I haven't.
So all of your Disney magic is coming from Disney Springs. You have this vlog about the Christmas tree stroll. But I've seen, if anybody follows you on social media, you're trying to hit a lot of the different restaurants and experience Disney Springs as much as possible. So what have been some of the restaurants you visited, and what have been your experiences?
Yeah, I visited House of Blues, which I loved that restaurant. I think that one might be my favorite. I've been to Planet Hollywood. I've been to the Edison, Boathouse. I think that might be it for now. Boathouse was also really good. I loved Boathouse.
So what did you get at Boathouse?
I got the lobster mac and cheese.
Ooh, how was it?
It was amazing.
I'm going to send you on an assignment because you're not allowed to go into the parks yet. You don't have a pass. When you get back into the area, because you're home from college right now, but when you get back, you should try to make a reservation at Kona Cafe at the Polynesian. You don't need a park pass to go there, and they also have a lobster mac and cheese. So I'd love for you to report back on which one you liked more.
Okay, yeah. I have been doing some resort hopping, and I think the only restaurants that I've been to at the Polynesian are Captain Cook's and Trader Sam's. So I will definitely go to Kona Cafe and try their lobster mac and cheese.
Captain Cook's may be the best quick service restaurant at Magic Kingdom. Like, I joke that it's at Magic Kingdom because it's so easy to get there. Sometimes I recommend, because the quick service locations at Magic Kingdom aren't that great, leave the park for an hour, go get a nice bowl at Captain Cook's, and then head back to the park rejuvenated.
I was surprised by how good Captain Cook's was.
What about the Edison? What did you get at the Edison, and how did you like the vibe there?
I love the vibe at the Edison. I love the steamboat look. It's amazing. But I got the grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup, which I love grilled cheese and tomato soup. You can never go wrong there. So.
I love it. You go to these fancy restaurants and get like comfort food.
Comfort food is all I know.
So since you're now in Florida most of the time, you're trying to balance school with having access to Walt Disney World. Is it as distracting as you thought it would be before you moved here? Do you find yourself just sort of shooting over just to relax a little bit in the, that first semester of college is tough. Like, you're trying to get used to a whole new way of thinking. It's not even that you have more of a workload, but college classes are so much different than high school classes. And to be adjusting to that while also knowing that you have this temptation of Walt Disney World so close.
Yeah, it was definitely more distracting than I thought it would be. This is actually my second year of college. So last year, my workload was not nearly as much as it is this year. And so I was thinking, oh, I can just go to Disney all the time and it'll be fine. And that just was not the case.
And you decided to make yourself busier. This is the thing that we are going to discuss. This is the big thing I teased at the beginning of the episode just a few minutes ago. And you decided to apply for the Disney College program. And congratulations, Kiki, you have been accepted. So I want to hear a lot about this. And you will have a vlog coming up in mid-January where you will talk about the process of being accepted into the Disney College program. But avoiding too many major spoilers, how did you decide you wanted to do this? How do you even start researching it? What goes into this?
Okay, so the process is kind of a lot, although it's not a ton, but it is a little bit of a lot. I decided that I wanted to do the Disney College program my sophomore year of high school. So I've been researching since way back then, watching other people's application processes and YouTube videos and vlogs even on the Disney College program. And I just knew that I wanted to do that when I got to college. I was going to apply my freshman year, but then COVID happened and I got stuck in Colorado way longer than I intended to be stuck here. So my sophomore year seemed like the best bet to go ahead and apply.
So as somebody who's just never had any connection with the Disney College program and trying to figure out how this works, do you have to do a lot of coordinating with your college? Do you have to do a lot of coordinating with Disney about your college credits and how you're doing in college? Or is it almost more like a regular job application? It's just you're part of this special program.
So the application is like a job application, and Disney treats it as a job application. So you don't really work with them about your college, but you do have to work with your college to figure out credits and how you're going to leave for the program, because it's not recommended to take classes while you're there.
So the Disney College program is going to be your college experience while you're doing it.
Yes.
So you'll be getting college credit for it. You'll be getting all of this experience in the real world. Disney is a company that when you can put that on your resume is going to show big things for you in the future. So you're getting all of these things at the same time, and it just sort of counts as going to college, so you can tell your parents that you're not goofing around the whole time.
Kind of. It's not the same as an entire workload. It is just an internship credit, so it's just a couple hours. But yeah.
Have they given you any indication what type of role you're going to have when you start your college program?
No, they haven't. I'm not supposed to find out until about a month before my program starts.
I would imagine they want to keep it flexible. They want to see who they have, what individual talents they bring to the table, so then they can figure out everybody who's going to be doing it and then allocate people accordingly. If somebody checks out this vlog that you're going to have about the Disney College program, are they going to see you over the course of weeks and months, or are you going to be just explaining the process to them?
Yeah, so it's me over the course of a couple months explaining the process as I'm doing it.
That's incredible. That's going to be so fun. And do you have the moment that you finally found out you got it?
I do.
That's awesome. I remember there was a time when I sent you a message on Twitter and I was just like, have you heard anything back? And you're like, no, I'm starting to worry that I didn't get it. And then like 2 days later.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm so excited to start. Like, this has been a dream for so long.
So since your sophomore year of high school, you have been thinking about doing the Disney College program. But I want to know, is working at Disney something that you see being a career? Or is it just something that you want to do because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience and you don't want to let too many of those go by when you have the chance?
Disney is something that I want in my career. It's always been a dream of mine. When I graduate from college, I want to go onto Disney's marketing team and then eventually become the CEO of Disney.
So here's the deal. When you are the CEO of Disney, when you're the new Bob Chapek, you still have to come on the podcast every once in a while so I can get some inside dish.
Of course.
So then we were talking about your vlog, That's So Kiki, on YouTube. You're going to have the video coming up about the college program. You have the video up right now about Disney Springs Christmas Tree Stroll. What are some other things people can check out on the channel if they're interested in theme park vlogging? What are they going to see?
Yeah, so before my program starts, I'm going to be doing more resort hopping videos. I'm kind of exploring like the lesser known resorts. And then once my program starts, it's going to be a lot of vlogs and this is what the program looks like type of videos.
And what's on there now?
Right now, I have resort hopping and I have park videos, and then I have like everyday videos, kind of like vlogging my life.
And I was sort of hinting at this to try to get you to say it, but you haven't. You also have some cooking and baking videos, am I correct?
Yes, I do have that.
And you try to keep it Disney themed.
Yeah, so I have a Disney cookbook that I will try to make recipes from, and they always end up a disaster.
So check that out if you want to see Kiki have a disaster on her YouTube channel. Congratulations so much on being accepted into the Disney College program. That is going to be such a big step towards your dreams, and knowing how you hustle in school and you're always putting out a really good social media presence, I have no doubt that you will have success getting into the marketing department at Disney one day. And thank you so much for being here again, Kiki.
Thank you so much for letting me be here.
We'll definitely have Kiki on the show more and more often to share her experiences. Right now, it's time to turn things over to Sarah from Seattle with a little news.
Thanks, Rick. Epcot's International Festival of the Arts will get started on January 14th and last through February 21st. See wonderful live performances from the acrobats in Art-Defying Gravity. The artists of visual art in performance who will create impressive and stunning works of art, all while putting on a show, and even learn how to draw a Disney character at the Animation Academy at American Gardens Theater. 2022 also marks the return of the Disney on Broadway concert series, which on different nights will feature performances from singers in the Broadway versions of Disney shows like Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Mary Poppins, and more. Epcot's International Festival of the Arts also features artists from popular galleries like Wonderground Galleries, Pop Galleries, the Wyland Galleries, and Thomas Kincaid Studios. Of course, as is the case with every Epcot festival, the highlight is the food. As you might imagine, Festival of the Arts is famous for having the most photogenic food items. Enjoy treats at booths like the Artist Table, the Painted Panda, Deco Delights, Pop Eats, and more. Our own Rick Doherty already has his Epcot Park Pass reservation for the opening day of the festival. Once again, Epcot's International Festival of the Arts runs from January 14th through February 21st. I'm Sarah from Seattle, and this is Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty.
Thank you, Sarah. If you're planning on checking out Epcot's International Festival of the Arts, you'll also have the chance to see the new nighttime spectacular, Harmonious. Here's Marissa from Chicago, who will talk about a couple new nighttime shows at Walt Disney World. Thanks for being here, Marissa.
Always great to be here.
So, two brand new nighttime spectaculars at Walt Disney World. At Magic Kingdom, there's Disney Enchantment, and over at Epcot, Harmonious. So first, we're going to talk about Disney Enchantment, but we're going to talk about what it is replacing, and that is a fan favorite in Happily Ever After. So for us to understand your thoughts on Enchantment, we're going to have to hear your thoughts on Happily Ever After.
I loved Happily Ever After, which comes as no surprise to many. I think most people loved that show. It was such an incredible show, and it made me cry every time I watched it, and I didn't even mind because I loved it so much. You know, the music, the projections, the fireworks, it all tied together really well. And there was a very clear, concise message in that show that I absolutely adored.
I'll agree with you on that concise message, and I have a feeling that's going to come up in the next part of what you're saying. But it definitely showed you the different ways in which you can reach your goals, reach your dreams. It had the section with your friends, it had the section with family, and then the section with fighting off the evil or fighting off the bad. And it really did tie in to the point where when they belt out that last Find Your Happily Ever After, waterworks every time. 40-plus-year-old man standing on Main Street, USA, bawling like a little child. So I hear you there. Now, you got to experience Disney's Enchantment. What did you think about that show?
I thought it was cute. I wished I had better things to say. I saw it 3 times, and I truly went into it with the mindset of Happily Ever After was a great show. They're going to be replacing it with a great show. I went into it with an open mind, an open heart, and I was very hopeful towards it. You know, I wasn't thinking like, oh, it's not going to be good. Happily Ever After was the best. I went into it wanting to love it, and I just didn't. I felt like the projections down Main Street were very cool. I loved that. I thought that was an excellent addition. I wish they had done more of that. I think that would have been nice. But I feel like the music, the projections, and the fireworks weren't as cohesive as they were with Happily Ever After. I felt like I wasn't getting as powerful of a message. It didn't really hit me emotionally at all. It just kind of was a show where I watched it and went, this is a cute show. You know, it's one where the kids watching it are going to sit there and go, oh, that's a character I know. That's a character I like. This is fun. But it doesn't really go much deeper than that. And if that's what they were aiming for, then they absolutely succeeded. I was just hoping for something a little bit more.
Would you maybe say that with Happily Ever After, they had an idea, they had a concept, and they executed it, but for Disney Enchantment, they just wanted a new show for the 50th anniversary, so they put together a show? I
think that definitely has something to do with it. It definitely felt a little more, I don't want to say slapped together, but a little bit, just to the point where they were just, and I don't want to get nitpicky, but there were some moments in the music where it stops, and there could have been more to pull you through instead of just having hard stops in between sections. That lasted a little bit longer than they did with Happily Ever After. I will say my favorite time viewing this show was when I was behind the castle and I caught it in New Fantasyland and we could just see the fireworks. And my friend and I both said that was our favorite viewing, just watching it with the fireworks and the music. So I don't know if the projections are part of what's throwing it off. I'm not too sure. It just wasn't as cohesive. And a good story. So my friend that I went with, we had last gone in 2017, which was right when Happily Ever After had opened. So she had seen Happily Ever After twice on that trip. We came back. Now it's Enchantment. She didn't really remember Happily Ever After, but we watched Enchantment. She thought it was cute. That next night, we're in our hotel room, and the TV is playing Happily Ever After. There's a channel that plays the show. So I said, hey, let's sit, let's watch it. We'll refresh your memory on it. Why not? About 10 minutes into that show, she went, this is way better. I love this. She said, I like watching this on the TV more than I liked watching that on the castle. And she's not a huge Disney fan. She doesn't really know the park politic angle, but that was her take.
I will say that anybody who's ever on this show is not just going to say something is bad for the sake of saying it's bad. So if Marissa didn't enjoy something, I trust her enough to just say she gave it a chance and it didn't live up to her expectations, and that's fine. Not everything will live up to your expectations, but we are not some of those people who are just needlessly negative. And you will find that out for a fact because there are a lot of people who are needlessly negative about Harmonious. Now, Harmonious kind of replaced two different shows. First, there was Illuminations, which ran for like 750 years and had a huge following more for nostalgia than for anything that actually happened in the show. And then for a little over a year, there was Epcot Forever. I saw the first ever Epcot Forever, and I'm not sure if I ever saw it again. Not that I didn't like it, I thought it was fine. I just don't always do the nighttime spectaculars. I think it's a good time to get on rides if there are rides that are still open. I think it is a good time to do a whole bunch of other stuff, or now as a local, just get home and get to bed at a reasonable time. Like I said, I'm in my 40s. I'm getting old now. I never had the huge connection with Illuminations other people had because we would always try to, on our vacations, get that one last ride at Epcot in right around that time. Epcot Forever wasn't around long enough, so we don't maybe have the memories that we did with Happily Ever After. So what did you think of Harmonious?
It absolutely blew me away. Just phenomenal in every way. And I don't know, that might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but the entire show was beautiful. The music was beautiful. The screens were beautiful. The fireworks were incredible. It really had that whole message of Epcot is a representation of all the countries and all the different people and all these different stories that are told in different ways, but they come together and, they can unite us. They have that power to unite all of us. And it was just such a beautiful show that my friend and I went out of our way to see it again because we just loved it that much.
The day it debuted at Walt Disney World, they put an official feed up on YouTube so you could watch the first ever version on YouTube. And I watched it and was a little underwhelmed. But then when I saw it in person for the first time, and I realized that they did not do the pyrotechnics justice at all, because there's a lot of pyro in this show. Like you said, incorporating all of the different countries, all of the different ethnicities is just really everything that Epcot is supposed to be about. And I know that a lot of people are upset with all of the intellectual property coming into Epcot. But if you're going to use intellectual property in Epcot, this is the exact right way to do it. I just think of when you see the red hair drop down when they start the Merida section. And that's not just, oh, here's another princess. That's literally talking about the culture, talking about the characteristics of this group of people being represented by the Princess Merida. That's what I think is so good. Changing languages in between the songs when they play Reflections from Mulan and they go back and forth between English and Mandarin. It's emotional. It's really such a great show. I don't know how they knocked it out of the park this well.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. Every single thing they did for this show was the right decision. They just absolutely killed it. And it is a fun show that kids will love. It's a great show adults will love. Everyone in your party is going to find something to appreciate about it, even if it's the fireworks, even if it's just watching their favorite characters come up on the screen. There's just something so good about it that it becomes a worthy nighttime show for Epcot. And I know that you said you didn't really make time for the Epcot nighttime shows in the past, and I really didn't either. I was definitely more of the mindset of let's try to get on Soarin' one more time. And now this is a show that's worthy of your time. It's worth skipping that one ride to watch the show.
I couldn't have said it better myself, and to be honest, I always think I can say things better, so that's a huge compliment. Thank you so much for being back on the show, Marissa. I really wanted to get your opinions on these new nighttime extravaganzas. It means a lot to have you here.
Thank you so much. I love being here, and I'm happy to report back.
I'm Rick Doherty, and I recently had the chance to experience Night of a Million Lights at Give Kids the World Village in Kissimmee, Florida. Give Kids the World is a fantastic organization that provides cost-free vacations for critically ill children and their families. I can't do them justice with the limited time I have left, so visit gktw.org for more information. One of their major fundraising events of the year is Night of a Million Lights. Prices vary on the event, but we paid $35 per person to experience it. All of the villas throughout Give Kids the World Village are decorated in beautiful holiday lights, and there are displays sponsored by local companies, including Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando Resort, the PGA Tour, the WWE, the Crayola Experience, Legoland Florida, and many, many more. We got to meet Santa, have some churros, and see these incredible light displays. This is an event that I would definitely recommend for everybody who's in the area for the holiday season. Seeing lights was always such a big part of the season for me when I was a kid growing up in Pennsylvania. Not only do you get some absolutely wonderful displays, but you also feel good knowing that you're helping out a great cause. It doesn't hurt that the prices for merchandise and food are exceptionally reasonable for somebody who's used to theme park prices. There are booths from Dippin' Dots, Boston Market, Icy, California Churros, and Super Pretzel. Most importantly, you're exposed to how much great work they're doing at Give Kids the World. If you take the Mayor Clayton's Village Tram Tour, you can see more wonderful lights, and Jody Benson, the voice of The Little Mermaid, will tell you all about the charitable works of Give Kids the World in a recorded message. We get caught up in the commercialization of the holidays, and this is a great chance to have fun while also helping give back to the theme park community that we love. This has been episode 47 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. We will be back next Thursday with our last episode of 2021 before we have a ton of great things planned for the new calendar year. Have a great week.